Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Brahmank, the first stage of creation. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature, with which the perfect objects are designed and created. The formation of perfect objects takes place in three stages. First, first stage of creation, which is equivalent to 22 by 21. 10 stages of development is the second stage. Third stage of maturation is equivalent to 0.34419. Put together, they create a form in the ratio of Divyank ratio. The first stage of creation is called Brahmank. It goes in the name of Lord Brahma, which is the Lord of creation. Brahmank was decoded from stories of Upanishads by me. Let's take one cryptic story of Lord Brahma or Brahmank. Chandogya Upanishad says, chapter 8, 7.1, Prajapati was giving a discourse on how to be in Satchit Anand or eternally blissful 24/7. He says, self, free from evil, free from old age, free from death, free from grief, free from hunger, free from thirst, free from desires, and free from thoughts should be sought. And that self is one which is going to give you self-realization or enlightenment or Satchitanand or blissful state 24/7. Indra, the king of gods, and Virochan, the king of demons, were listening carefully and they were impressed and wanted to learn more. They approached Prajapati, or Lord Brahma, with respect and requested wisdom. Prajapati agreed and asked them to stay in his ashram for 32 years. 32 years, please mark. At the end of 32 years, Prajapati explained the importance of the physical body and waking consciousness. That means, please take care of your physical health, eat well, dress well, live like a king, have physical health, have wealth, have all the power which you want, and you can be like a reigning king. And that's a picture of Virochan, you can call it, or any of the kings you can call. And that was a message for waking consciousness. Both of them were impressed and left for their abodes. Virochan explained the concept to his followers, and incidentally almost everyone in the world. Please, the physical health, wealth is more than enough to be healthy, wealthy, wise and happy and be content all the time. And that has become literally a yardstick for success formula today. But Indra had a doubt. What doubt did he have? He said, physical body is perishable. I can lose my eyes, I can lose my limbs, I can lose many parts, I could fall sick. How can there be permanent bliss in this particular state? There is a hitch. So he came back. And Prajapati asked him to stay for another 32 years in his ashram. At the end of second 32 years, he was explained the importance of dreaming or consciousness, swapna avastha. He was explained that when you have a dream, you see everything beautiful. There's nothing short of that. You don't fall sick. You don't have anything. And Andhra was quite happy, fully satisfied. Rather, he said, yes, I agree. He is better than physical because nothing can go wrong in dreams. Whatever dream is there. But afterwards, he had a doubt. It's only a dream. It's not a real reality. There cannot be a permanent bliss. I want a permanent bliss. So he came back. Then he was asked to stay for another 32 years. For the next 32 years, or third 32 years, Prajapati explained first importance of deep sleep or Sushmita consciousness. When you go to deep sleep of consciousness, you are blissful. When you get up from deep sleep, you are always blissful. Oh, wonderful sleep I had. Absolutely no pain, no stress, nothing at all. It's a wonderful waking state after deep sleep is something which all of us can recognize because we have experienced it, that bliss at the end of deep sleep. Disturbed sleep doesn't give you that kind of bliss, but deep sleep, yes. So he was quite happy. He went. However, he came back again. It was only in deep sleep. I don't even know what happened. So how can I make myself consciously experience Satchitanand, which I want within the physical body? So then he was asked to stay for another 5 years only. Before the end of the 5 years, Prajapati explained the nature of soul, which is beyond dualities and death. Immortal state of Antaryatma, our deep inner soul, our indwelling human soul, was explained very clearly. Once you realize that and you let that soul guide you, take care of your physical health, emotional health, mental health, all the things, become the instrument of that, then you will be in a Turiya state, superconscious state, and nothing can go wrong with you. You have all the bliss you want, all the powers you want, everything is there because soul can give you all that. And that he was fully satisfied and he left for heaven thereafter. So, what is the message? The impeccable, implicit, hidden wisdom is this. The first 32 years represent 7 states of consciousness of the physical body. Second 32 years represent 7 states of emotional body. Third 32 years represent 7 stages of the mental body. And last 5 years represent one part of the blissful state of the consciousness. In other words, 7 plus 7 plus 7, 96 years, represent the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. But you go beyond that, you go to Turiya consciousness where you will have blissful 24/7. So 32 plus 5 is actually 7 plus 7 plus 7, 1 or 22 by 21. How beautifully they have hidden this wisdom is amazing. Anyway, I'm glad that I could find Brahmank in the story told by Lord Brahma himself for all the people by and large. So 22 by 21 is the first stage of creation. I'm sure this brings it ancient Indian wisdom in story form was in a cryptic form. We can decode and find the wisdom which we can apply day-to-day life, and I have done this maybe for the first time to bring as the first stage equivalent to 22 by 21. Two more examples of Brahmank. Same Chandogya Upanishad says solar system can be covered by 21 steps. That means solar system is made of again 21 stages. And 27 steps we can conquer the solar system and go to an eternal state of blissful. Again, very implicit way of saying there are 22 stages, out of which 21 are connected with birth, death, and resurrection. Then let me translate that into physical I said. Mother Earth is one part which made of 7 parts. Antariksh or the atmosphere is made of 7 parts. There are 7 heavens. So Earth, atmosphere, and heaven, these 3 put together are equivalent to 21 parts. And in this cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, to go beyond the solar system to Urth cloud, beyond the solar system is where you have the blissful state. Lovely, wonderful. At the same time, Mandukya Upanishad also talks. There are hardly 12 mantras in that. They say, Okara, the first sound, A, of Om, consists of 7 spheres. Yukara, the second part of Om, is made of 7 spheres. Makara, the M part, which is connected with the head, is also made of 7 parts. That means U, M. Lower abdomen, chest, and head. There are 21 parts of the physicalized body which are subject to birth, death, and rebirth. But Turiya is connected with soul consciousness, which goes beyond the physical body as a 21, which gives you blissful. What a beautiful way of talking about first stage of creation of 22 by 21 in a very cryptic form. Lovely. Now let me give you another thing. Aditya, the sun, is a presiding deity of that. According to Upanishads, the real teacher of all the ancients was sun only, Aditya only. And as far as I'm concerned, I learned everything from Aditya only, sun only. For me, he's a teacher. And incidentally, sun, let's start from North Pole. It moves around the axis, and North Pole becomes South Pole in 11 years, and South Pole becomes North Pole in 11 years. Is this cycle of 22 years also a mystery or coincidence? Or is the divine proof of 22 by 21 which centers around our sun itself? Now let's take another example which all of us can easily relate to. Living cells. Human body is made of 100 trillion cells, and there are different types of cells. And living cells are the one which replicate and replace the older dying cells. Now, let's understand the structure of cell. Human cell under the compound microscope is made of only three parts. As solar system is of three major parts: Earth, Antariksh, and Heaven. Human cell is made of only cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus at the gross level. But when you take under the electron microscope, it's very interesting. Cell membrane is made of 7 parts. Cytoplasm, there are 7 organelles. And nucleus also got 7 parts. Is it a coincidence? No. This is the same divine design, Devyank, which is present everywhere. Whether it is the greater Mahabrahman, our solar system, our spiral galaxy, to the solar system, to the human body, to even cellular level. I'm sure I'm going to show you its replication even with respect to minerals also. But then, living cell can produce, but 21 parts of the living cell become 22 as the first division of mother cell takes place. So mother cell produces 2 daughter cells, but then it has to become 22. Can you imagine which out of 22 part becomes double to make it 22 at the first stage of creation? Its centrosome becomes 2 centriole and results in 22 parts. It's again 21 to 22 parts. The first stage of creation and multiplication is again a mere coincidence. Are the same applied everywhere. As above, as down is being represented everywhere. We are the microcosmic representatives of the macrocosmic. Even our cells are the same as universe. So this is the design with which everything is made. And if you go know the design, I think we know the entire universe within us itself. That is what Akhand Vidyashan's prime objective is. Another great example of Brahmank, brain is encapsulated, well protected within skull bones and the face bones. And there are 22 bones of the head and face. Out of 22, 21 are fixed and 22nd mandible is free. Mandible is only one gives you all the mobility to express ourselves. What brain can think, to express that it has to be done with the help of mandible. Is this a coincidence? Or is again a divine plan? Everything has been so meticulously designed, created for the us. And do we really understand and appreciate this divine beauty within us? No. There's another thing which I'm showing down. Full development of the human brain takes 21 years. As a result, sutures of the human skull start closing only after 22 years of age, not before that. Till such time they are just there. And at the same time, a growing fetus is fully developed in 21 weeks from the time of conception. And only after 21 weeks, on 22nd week onward, the soul can enter into the growing fetus to take charge, to produce it, make the whole nervous system perfect to be in tune with universal consciousness. This is again another amazing example. For that matter, hen eggs hatch in 21 days. There's so many beauties there. Human brain is specially then most evolved brain. Incidentally, this has got four types of brains within us. Unfortunately, three have been recognized, fourth has not been recognized by others. So let me uh, explain what has been seen. Reptilian brain is made of the brainstem and the spinal cord, which houses all the nuclei for the physical health or subconscious health of the body. All the negative positive feedback mechanism can take place within reptilian brain itself automatically, subconsciously, unconsciously. On top of that, you have a mammalian brain which is connected higher in between, which is again connected with emotional, social health, which we see in animals and we also see within us. On top of that, we have a cortical brain or primate brain, which is responsible thinking brain or mental health. Up to these three, most of us are using it effectively. But there are three outer layers of neocortex. I am very sorry to say, even the neuroscientists of the world do not recognize the functional anatomy and functional physiology of three outer layers. They are totally ignorant. They have not been able to throw light on it. I am glad I have integrated these cells with the rest of the body and use it as an antenna to get to Akash and get all my answers from Akash Kosh as I've written in the beginning with the help of three outer layers of nucleus. Those dendrites, receptors, are my antenna to Akash Kosh. So it's, I think, again, 7 plus 7 plus 7 and then 1 makes it 22 by 21 again. Interesting. So at the end of it, don't you think it's amazing that there's so much information we have in Vedas, Upanishads, and scriptures, and also in medical sciences, which we have not really. The time has come that we should be in a position to bridge the gap between ancient Indian wisdom, modern science, and bring spiritual science to the world for the benefit of every living being, so they can be healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy, and experience Satchit Anand, our eternal bliss 24/7. Thereby, we can expect world peace at the same time. Thank you very much for kind listening and encouraging.